Hi, hello everyone. Welcome. I wanted to talk today. Let me know if you're watching the replay too. So I really want to talk today about, I know I gave a talk a couple days ago about be you, right? Like be you and how important that is. Well, there's lots of times in our days, our weeks, our months, in our lives when we're out of integrity with ourselves, right? Like that's just part of being human. And hi, Janet. So it's just part of being human to be, to not be ourselves, to be out of integrity. And part of that too is like, and I don't think we should judge ourselves for that, because that's part of learning who we are. Like we try something and we say, ooh, that didn't feel good. Yuck. I guess I'm not going to do that again. Like it's okay to experiment with who we are and what is in integrity with ourselves, right? So the tip though has more to do, this was actually an experience I learned from a friend of mine. It's so great you're here, Janet. This was something I learned from a friend of mine that I thought was so brilliant, and I have used it and I love it. So he was actually being out of integrity with himself. And so what happens, first of all, it's important for us to know what happens when we do that, when we're not in integrity with ourselves, with who we really are, and to notice our patterns. And we all have different patterns, right? But it oftentimes can look like just being off track in some way. That's like, I think that as an umbrella, we go off track. And so that can look like being critical with ourselves or being critical with others. It can look like being really emotional, like we just, have overly active emotional responses to something. And just we might act or behave in ways that really aren't us, right? So it's some sort of off-trackness, whether it be our thinking, our actions, or our feelings. And so it's nice to observe those things and start to recognize, well, what are our patterns? And so, and this is something, so this friend of mine was out of integrity with himself, and he had a tendency to be like overly reactive at things and sort of give an overly emotional reaction to things that to me felt like negativity. And which isn't normally his way of acting, but it just was, something that he did. And so, and then what happens too is the people around us, right? When we do this, when we react strongly, when we're off track in some way, emotionally or with our actions or our thoughts, it affects the people around us. And the people around us then might have reactions to that. And then things just really go awry, right? And so in this particular case, he was out of integrity, he went off track, and I had a reaction to it. Not a huge one. Hi, Andrea. Not a huge one, but just like, what the heck, you can't do that. And like, not maybe the most positive reaction that I would want to have. And this happened several times in our friendship. And then one time he said to me, which I absolutely love, after this happened, he said to me, I just want you to know it's me. So this is my tip. This is the tip. He just said, it's me. It's still me. And that was a life-changing moment, really. A life-changing moment for me, because I got to see what I was doing. I got to see how I was just reacting to his off-track behavior, to him having a moment, and I didn't need to do that. And so, and I say this to parents all the time. I'm really good with this with children, with my own children, with other children. I've practiced this for years. I'm not as good with this with adults, and I'm practicing and I'm learning. But again, that changed my life. So with kids, I can know, like I feel like it's part of my job to hold my children and other children to a place of, I know who you are and I know your goodness. I just know, and I am so certain of your goodness and who you are. I'm just going to stay in that while you're having your tantrum, while you're raging, while you're angry, while you're whatever, while you're going off track in some way, shape, or form. And I can do that. There's no reason why we can't do that with the adults in our lives too, with our friends or in our relationships. That when people go off track, that we can continue to know, well, I know who you are, and this isn't really who you are. This isn't your best version of yourself. Some people we can say that to, and some people we can't. We have to discern that and decide that, right? But we can still hold that space for people. And that's my tip, is holding that space, because I want people to hold that space for me, right? When I'm off track, when I'm stuck in something negative, or I'm overreacting to a situation because I'm under-resourced, or because I'm just tired, or because I haven't eaten and I overreact in some way. I want someone to do that for me. Say, hey, everything okay? What's going on? I know you're not, you're just not that. I know you're such a big person. And so that's my tip, is holding space for each other, asking the people in our lives to hold space for us, and then doing that for other people. And for me, what worked, I don't know what's going to work for you, but when this person said to me, hey, it's me, it's just me. Like I'm a big-hearted, wonderful, amazing person. And I want you to remember that in these hard moments. So we can do that for each other. And it has changed my life to have those words in my head. It's me. So, it's just a practice you can try. I would love to hear how it goes for you. I would love to hear your reactions to this, what your thoughts are about this as well. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you have an amazing, beautiful day. Bye.